everyone, and welcome back to the show. Super excited to bring back my friend, my confidant, my real estate investing rocks woman of the year, Angel Williams. Welcome back to the show, Angel.
Hey, Pili, how are you doing?
Super, super awesome. So everyone, if you don't know Angel, Angel has been involved in real estate investing her whole life, but began her personal real estate journey in 2003. She is co-founder of the Academy Presents and a managing partner of Lorren Capital LLC. Angel has experience in single-family home rentals, small multifamily home rentals, and passive investing in multifamily syndication deals. Angel graduated from Baylor University in 2000 with a BBA in economics and in 2002 with an MS in economics. Angel is a mother to 3 amazing daughters and 1 special needs amazing son. She recently resigned from her full-time job teaching 8th grade English to become a full-time real estate professional. While not giving up on her educating altogether, she still teaches economics on the college level part-time. Providing educational opportunities will always be her heart. And the academypresents.com is the vehicle for her passion of spreading real estate education. The Academy Presents brings together industry experts from around the nation and beyond to share their knowledge and experience with others in the REI space, with a goal of becoming one of the top sources for real estate investing information and connections across the many facets of real estate investing. Angel hopes to break down perceived barriers in investment types and tools. Welcome, Angel. That was a mouthful.
It's a lot. there's so much to do.
The thing is, you have an amazing career. So let's go back to 2003. How did you get started? I mean, it sounds like you were in economics. You became an English teacher. So how did you get started in real estate?
So Jason and I both grew up in families that invested in real estate. So it was really a natural progression for us. And when we got our first house in 2003, we were like, I mean, we didn't even discuss it. We just knew it would be our first rental. It was kind of wild.
Fantastic. So from that first rental, describe to me the steps you took, your journey to multifamily real estate.
So in 2006, Jason finished up his doctorate. We moved from Lubbock to Wichita Falls in 2007, did the make ready. So that house became our very first rental in 2007. And then we got our next single family home in like 2009, maybe. Then we got another one. Then we picked up a couple more like 8 months ago. So right now we have 4 single family homes in Wichita Falls. We have 1 in Lubbock still. None of our original money is tied up in those. So they're all infinite returns. And we also got involved in passive investing in multifamily syndication in 2018, 2019. And really the move behind that was we had our son in 2010, and we got his diagnosis with a very rare genetic condition in, I guess it would have been 2011, 2012. There were 742 cases in the world at that time. And having experienced the what ifs, the what are the answers, there are no answers, help us, just that whole array of just crap, we realized that nobody else should have to go through that. And we realized that we can make a difference should we be able to scale up faster. And, our ultimate goal is to create a foundation to donate to the alliance that does in fact research, educate, and help with what Anson has here in the US. But even beyond that, we want to be able to help families when they get that diagnosis to just know that there's other people out there that have been through it and that they are not alone. And even though you don't get all the answers, it's okay, because you've got a group behind you that loves you, supports you, and we've been there and we get it. And that makes a big, big difference.
That makes a huge difference. This takes me to my next question. Can we talk a little bit about impact investing? Because it sounds like that's exactly what you are doing and looking to scale into. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Actually, I can. I don't know how much I am allowed to talk about, but I will say that we did get our first deal awarded to us. And just to talk a little bit about the best and final interview, lots of people were super excited that we made it to the interview. And they sent us questions to prep with. They sent us possible questions. They sent us their experiences. I mean, like we felt so prepared going in, and it was 100% unlike what anybody had sent us because the brokers knew where we were coming from. And so the questions were more about our story. And this is kind of where I just come back and say, the relationships you forge in this space are so important, because ultimately what happened was that the seller wanted to be a part of our story. And I know
it's gonna make me cry. The seller wanted to be a part of your story, like that. Come on, like I want to take from what you just said about the relationships being so important. And that relationship that you have forged with others to create now a relationship with the seller, that the seller again wants to be a part of your story. Tell us more about this story that he wants to be a part of.
So just the idea that we're not in it for just ourselves. And it's even greater than just our investors. It's about contributing almost at a global level, really, because it's not just our son or the other, now they're saying there's 1,400 cases in the world. It's not just that small number of people in the world that we can affect. It's not only the individuals affected, but their families, their immediate families, their, secondary families, all the people that are related to those families, because so many more people are affected than you know. And to be able to educate others as well, that just because someone isn't just like you doesn't mean that they don't have a significant role to play in society. So it's we see this as an opportunity to share the ways that people who are differently abled are still able to be a significant part of everything that we do.
I actually want to take this moment to dive deeper into that. How, like for those of us that don't know how to get into this type of investing, or are not investing this way, or do not have this mindset, how can we start building this mindset that different people of different types of abilities can be a part of everything that we're all trying to build? So
I think really having Anson opened up the way we look at things. And the other thing it really helped us do was to identify what our superpowers are. Because like, I knew I was good at relationships. Like I knew that was my thing, but what I didn't realize is that I'm not going to be negotiating the deal. I'm not going to be like setting up the terms, finding out the loans, all that good stuff. But what I can do is I can cultivate relationships with the people who do those things, so that when we grow a team and when we get a deal, I can make those introductions, and our other team members can slide into those roles more easily. And so when I say that, different abled people are able to come into our lives and help us do these syndications or do these transactions more easily, it's more that not only can they be a part of those in their own way, but it's that it helps open up our minds to understanding that people are better suited to some tasks versus others. So I think it's that the opening of the mind that is really the key part of how we are affected by having Anson in our lives.
I love that. I love like you have this superhuman in your life, Anson. He's a superhuman because he has allowed not only you, but other people to open up their minds to understand that we all have our particular superpowers. So for any of my listeners out there who don't think that they can do this because they don't know the numbers, or maybe they don't like the relationships, or don't know how to make those connections, or don't know this or don't know that, I implore you to figure out what you do like, what you are great at. Like, it took Angel and I a long time to figure out our superpowers. And the thing is, Angel, we are more alike than you know. Because I am also the relationship cultivator. That's my superpower. I love talking with people. And it takes a while to find out what that superpower is. But if you're somebody that looks at numbers and you're like, this is my jam, and then you go and try to do the networking part and you don't like it, that's fine. Yes, we have to go and talk to people, but if that's not your superpower, then don't force yourself into that box if you don't need to be there. Cultivate relationships, like Angel just said, and push forward from there. Angel, that is amazing. So let's dig in even deeper. Let's talk about this, I think you said coalition, that
the alliance.
The alliance. Let's talk a little bit about this alliance that you are backing, that you want to back into and use as sort of a vehicle to help promote what you are trying to do to bring more impactfulness to what Anson has.
Yeah. So the alliance, it's called the Duke 15Q Alliance. It doesn't have a catchy name. It's actually it's the actual duplication. So Anson has an extra chromosome, and the chromosome is made up from 2 extra copies from the 15th chromosome. Specifically, it is 11.3 to 13.1Q on the long arm of the 15th chromosome. That's why it's called Duke 15Q. It doesn't get a cute name because there's just not a whole lot of people with it. And we generally, we see one fundraising effort per year. It's about $100,000 from everyone to donate into the Duke 15Q Alliance. And we want to have a foundation that not only helps new families that are being, that are getting the diagnosis of this condition, but we also want to be able to collect enough funds to donate $100,000 a year ourselves to the foundation, because we just want to be able to do that. And the fact of the matter is that the mortality for children that have what Anson has is not high. And even when Anson is gone, should he not make it past us, we still want to make sure that we are able to help families to get that diagnosis, because it sucks. And not the diagnosis itself, but just the fact that you go to doctors and the chances of another doctor having seen a kid with this diagnosis are really slim. And for the ones that have, there's such a broad array of how a child is affected. Our geneticist actually had another patient with Anson's diagnosis, but she didn't want to introduce us because Anson was doing so much better than her other patient. And so you have this array of conditions within the same diagnoses. And so you don't want to, I guess, ostracize another person with the same diagnosis that isn't having the same outcome. And so we want to help eliminate some of those issues. And I know money is not the answer to everything, but honestly, it sure does make things easier when your medical bills are hundreds of thousands of dollars every year.
Yeah. And just every little bit counts. So if any of my listeners want to donate or want to learn more, how can they find out more about Anson's condition? How can they find out more about you and what you are trying to do? How can they help?
So first off, the Alliance is www.duke15q.org. That takes you directly to the Alliance webpage. You can also go to our webpage. It's www.theacademypresents.com. And we will have our foundation in there once we get it all going. But we will absolutely have the links to get into the Duke 15Q Alliance as well, because it's near and dear to us. And we want to make sure that it is shared with people that want to know.
Fantastic. And do you have another conference coming up? Please talk.
We do. So our 4th 3-day virtual conference is coming up September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And we're super excited. It's fast approaching. We've got tons of irons in the fire. I feel like I am literally in front of a bonfire trying to put it out with a single bucket of water.
You're just sprinkling a little, you're just like sprinkling a little bit here, a little bit there. Like if I just kind of hold it back.
Yeah. But it's someone once told me that pressure is a privilege. And so I really want to keep that in mind. And it wasn't even someone, it was Jennifer Joyce. Jennifer Joyce told me that. The pressure is a privilege. And at first I just kind of smiled and nodded. But as we've gone through this process, I really understand that not everybody wants to do this. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody, would ever even think about doing this. And that's not to, put myself above anyone else. It's just saying that this is my privilege. This is the privilege that Jason and I created. And part of that privilege is the pressure that comes along with it. And so, I mean, we put ourselves here. And so it's a privilege to be here. And I'm just glad that we were able to get here and that we can do our best to do what we have to do to make it happen and keep it where it needs to be. And I don't even know. I feel like I'm just in a spot where I have no clue what I'm doing.
But see, the thing is, and this is why I love having you on here, because there are so many of us out there who don't freely admit that we walk through and we see on Facebook, everybody has it together. Everybody's closing something. Everybody has something under contract. Everybody is bright and shiny and rainbows and doing push-ups. And
for 22 days.
And they don't see the other side. They don't see that part of us that questions what we're doing. I do that all the time. I question myself all the time. Am I doing this right? Am I saying this right? Do I know exactly what I'm doing? And I'm going to tell you, Angel, you do. You know exactly what you're doing. You've done it multiple times before. But the thing is, what you just said is refreshing, because you are allowing people to see, and this is why people want to be a part of your world, that they want to be a part of your story, because you are hyper truthful about your feelings and what you're going through. And so thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for being you, Angel. You are amazing. I hope you know that.
You.
For all my listeners out there, please tap in with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks. If Angel is still having me after today, I will be there too. And please also check out her website, her Lorren Capital, and please check out the amazing way she is giving back to her community. All of that will be in the show notes. So Angel, before I let you go, what's one more thing? I mean, you've given us so much today, but what is one more thing you'd like to leave my listeners with?
Don't be afraid to push the envelope, even when it gets uncomfortable. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I pushed the envelope so much in the past 4 weeks. Like there were so many times I thought I had pushed too far, and it just worked. And so it all comes back to push the envelope, push it in the way that is authentically you. Because at the end of the day, that's what people really want, is they want to know you, not who you're trying to be or who you're trying to look like. They just want to know you. So
I love it. So from Angel to you, be authentically you. Thank you so much, Angel.
Thank you.
And thank you to my listeners. So grateful to you for listening. If you loved what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. You're amazing. Know that. Own it. And own this day. You are amazing. Aloha.